The electrical meter measures the amount of electrical energy consumed by a building. It's a crucial component in the electrical distribution system, typically installed between the utility's service drop and the building's service panel. The meter accurately records the kilowatt-hours of electricity used, which forms the basis for billing. Understanding how the electrical meter connects to the service panel is essential for comprehending the overall electrical system. The service panel, also known as the breaker box or load center, is the main distribution point for electricity within a building. It receives power from the electrical meter and distributes it to individual circuits that supply various appliances, lighting fixtures, and outlets. The service panel contains circuit breakers, which are protective devices that interrupt the flow of electricity in the event of an overload or short circuit. This prevents damage to wiring and equipment, and reduces the risk of electrical fires. The connection between the electrical meter and the service panel involves several key components and wiring configurations. Firstly, the service drop is the overhead or underground cable that brings electricity from the utility's power grid to the building. It typically consists of 3 wires, 2 hot wires, and a neutral wire. The service drop connects to the weatherhead, which is a protective fitting that prevents water from entering the electrical system. From the weatherhead, the wires run down to the electrical meter. Secondly, the electrical meter is connected to the service panel via a set of wires. The 2 hot wires from the service drop are connected to the corresponding terminals on the meter. The neutral wire is also connected to a designated terminal on the meter. The meter measures the current flowing through the hot wires and calculates the total energy consumption. Thirdly, the service panel receives power from the electrical meter via another set of wires. The 2 hot wires from the meter are connected to the main breaker in the service panel. The neutral wire from the meter is connected to the neutral busbar in the service panel. The ground wire, which provides a path for fault current to return to the source, is connected to the ground busbar in the service panel. The main breaker is a large circuit breaker that controls the entire flow of electricity to the service panel. It can be manually tripped to disconnect power to the entire building in the event of an emergency. From the main breaker, electricity is distributed to individual branch circuits via smaller circuit breakers. Each branch circuit supplies power to a specific area or appliance in the building. The size of the circuit breaker is determined by the amperage rating of the circuit it protects. For example, a 15-amp circuit breaker is typically used for lighting and general-purpose outlets, while a 20-amp circuit breaker is used for kitchen appliances and other high-load devices. The wiring within the service panel is carefully organized to ensure proper operation and safety. The hot wires are typically color-coded black or red, while the neutral wires are white. The ground wires are green or bare copper. The wires are securely connected to the circuit breakers and busbars using screws or clamps. It's important to note that working with electrical systems can be dangerous and should only be performed by qualified electricians. Improper wiring can result in electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. Always follow local electrical codes and safety regulations when working with electricity. Understanding the connection between the electrical meter and the service panel is essential for troubleshooting electrical problems. If you experience frequent circuit breaker trips, flickering lights, or other electrical issues, it's important to investigate the problem and determine the cause. In some cases, the problem may be due to a faulty circuit breaker, loose wiring, or an overloaded circuit. In other cases, the problem may be more serious and require the attention of a qualified electrician. It is critical to understand the basics of electrical safety before undertaking any electrical work. Always disconnect the power to the circuit you are working on by turning off the circuit breaker. Use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is energized before touching any wires. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. Never work on electrical systems in wet or damp conditions. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is always best to call a qualified electrician. There are several types of electrical meters available, each designed for specific applications. The most common type is the electromechanical meter, which uses a rotating disc to measure energy consumption. The speed of the disc is proportional to the amount of power being used. The electromechanical meter is reliable and relatively inexpensive, but it can be less accurate than other types of meters. Another type of electrical meter is the electronic meter, which uses electronic circuits to measure energy consumption. Electronic meters are more accurate than electromechanical meters and can provide additional information, such as real-time power consumption and voltage levels. Some electronic meters also have the ability to communicate with the utility company remotely, allowing for automatic meter reading and remote disconnect/reconnect capabilities. Smart meters are a type of electronic meter that provides advanced features, such as time-of-use metering and demand response capabilities. Time-of-use metering allows the utility company to charge different rates for electricity depending on the time of day. Demand response allows the utility company to reduce power consumption during peak periods by remotely controlling appliances or equipment. Smart meters can help consumers save money on their electricity bills and reduce the strain on the power grid. The service panel is available in various sizes and configurations to accommodate different electrical loads. The size of the service panel is determined by the number of circuit breakers it can hold. A typical residential service panel may have 20 to 40 circuit breaker slots. The amperage rating of the service panel is also important. The amperage rating indicates the maximum amount of current that the service panel can safely handle. A typical residential service panel may have an amperage rating of 100 amps, 150 amps, or 200 amps. When selecting a service panel, it is important to choose one that is large enough to accommodate your current and future electrical needs. It is also important to choose a service panel that is certified by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories. This ensures that the service panel meets safety standards and is suitable for its intended use. Circuit breakers are available in various types and sizes. The most common type is the thermal magnetic circuit breaker, which uses a bimetallic strip to trip the breaker in the event of an overload. The magnetic component of the breaker trips the breaker in the event of a short circuit. Another type of circuit breaker is the ground fault circuit interrupter, which is designed to protect against ground faults. A ground fault occurs when electricity flows through an unintended path to ground. GFCIs are commonly used in bathrooms, kitchens, and other areas where there is a risk of electric shock. Arc fault circuit interrupters are designed to protect against arc faults. An arc fault occurs when electricity jumps between two conductors, creating a spark or arc. SIs are required in many new homes to help prevent electrical fires. When selecting circuit breakers, it is important to choose the correct size and type for the circuit you are protecting. The size of the circuit breaker should match the amperage rating of the circuit wiring. The type of circuit breaker should be appropriate for the application. For example, a GFCI should be used in areas where there is a risk of electric shock, and an FSI should be used in areas where there is a risk of electrical fires. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. The grounding system provides a path for fault current to return to the source, which helps to prevent electric shock on fire. The grounding system consists of a ground wire, a grounding electrode, and a grounding conductor. The ground wire is connected to the metal enclosures of electrical equipment and appliances. The grounding electrode is a metal rod or plate that is buried in the ground. The grounding conductor connects the ground wire to the grounding electrode. The grounding system should be inspected regularly to ensure that it is in good condition. If the grounding system is damaged or corroded, it should be repaired or replaced. Electrical codes and regulations vary from place to place. It is important to be familiar with the electrical codes and regulations in your area before undertaking any electrical work. The National Electrical Code is a widely adopted set of standards for electrical installations. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and safety practices. Local electrical codes may be more stringent than the NEC. It is important to check with your local building department to determine the specific electrical codes and regulations that apply in your area. Regular maintenance is essential for keeping your electrical system in good condition. Inspect your wiring, circuit breakers, and outlets regularly for signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged or worn components promptly. Have your electrical system inspected by a qualified electrician every few years. An electrician can identify potential problems and make recommendations for repairs or upgrades. If you are planning to add new electrical circuits or appliances, it is important to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that your electrical system can handle the additional load. Overloading your electrical system can lead to tripped circuit breakers, flickering lights, and other problems. In some cases, overloading your electrical system can even cause a fire. When working with electricity, always take precautions to protect yourself from electric shock. Wear insulated gloves and safety glasses. Use tools with insulated handles. Never work on electrical systems in wet or damp conditions. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is always best to call a qualified electrician.